Hello folks, Simon here, welcome back to the channel. I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas. I've got a bit of post-Christmas fatigue, so if I fall asleep halfway through the video, you'll have to excuse me. But I do have an update I want to share with you regarding the development of Final Fantasy XVI. And this was given to us this morning on Twitter by the producer of the game, Naoki Yoshida. And unfortunately, the update is that the development of the game has been delayed by about 6 months. However, I do get the impression reading this update that the game was going to be coming out sooner than perhaps many of us had anticipated. So that's a good thing, in which case a 6-month delay is not going to be the end of the world. Now, the update itself has been given in context of the fact that this time last year, we were told to expect new information about Final Fantasy XVI by the end of this month, December 2021. And of course, that isn't going to be happening. That new information is now going to be saved until a reveal in the spring. That's the bad news. Okay, the bad news is the fact that development on Final Fantasy XVI has been pushed back about 6 months. However, I also think that the game was due to be released a lot sooner than many of us expected it to be, perhaps even about June next year. And so a 6-month delay in that context would probably put it to a holiday release next year in 2022, which, let's be honest with you, is still probably sooner than many people would have thought. So that's not a bad thing in my view, if that bit of extra time is going to allow for a better game release. So the delay has of course been caused by the pandemic. No surprises there. Square have had to adapt to the fact that their developers are now working from home in many cases. And let's just look at this paragraph here, because this, in my view, is a really important paragraph. So Naoki Yoshida tells us that they have spent much of 2021 addressing the issue regarding the pandemic and working from home, and they hope to see its impact to a minimum by the new year, allowing us to better focus on the tasks at hand. Well, notice what the tasks at hand actually are. Increasing graphic resource quality, refining combat mechanics, fleshing out individual battles, putting the finishing touches on cutscenes, and conducting overall graphical optimization. Guys, this game is basically done. If what Naoki Yoshida is saying here is the reality, and I'm sure that it is, this game is basically made, and it's just having the finishing development touches given to it at this time. That's pretty exciting. Our primary goal now is to be as hands-on with the game as possible in order to see it fully polished. So that's got to be a good thing, right? You know, I actually, based on this update, think that the game was going to be released around June next year, and now it's been pushed back to the holiday. Now, that's unofficial, of course, that's just my views, that's not part of the update. So, that leaves us with the question, when can we expect the next round of information? Well, I am happy to announce the current plan is to conduct our next big reveal in spring of next year, as we seek to build excitement leading up to the game's eventual release. Okay, this is what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Of course, they announced that game back in 2015. Then we basically heard nought for a few years, until we finally did get a big information dump, and then the game was out just a few months later. So, for all we knew before that information dump, Final Fantasy VII Remake was still years off. We hadn't heard anything. They gave us that information, along with the fact that the release date for the game was the following spring. I expect something similar here for Final Fantasy XVI. I think the plan was to give this information dump this month, December, along with a release date for you know, perhaps next summer or something. Maybe not an exact date, but coming summer 2022. Now that that's going to be coming in spring, that information, I expect something like releasing holiday 2022. That's what I'm expecting. I could be wrong, but based on the wording of this particular post here, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. But there we have it then, folks. That is the update for Final Fantasy XVI. Yes, it's an update about a delay, but I'm actually still optimistic about a 2022 release. But how about you guys? Of course, with the pandemic, anything could happen. We could get further delays. But as things are right now, I am quite optimistic. Hey, it's Christmas time. It's the time to be optimistic, right? Anyway, folks, I hope you all have a wonderful new year. Thanks for stopping by today. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for future Final Fantasy XVI updates. I'll be looking forward to sharing those with you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.